Good evening and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm your host, Mephisto. Always with me, my co-host. All my feelings. Good evening to you, sir.
Hey, buddy.
What is the Reel McCoy? The Reel McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we ask you to watch a movie. You watch it, come back to us, and we discuss it, break it down, and do all sorts of material, immaterial things in the immaterium itself. Just joking. This month, this July month, we pay homage to Dick Donner, to Richard Donner, the late great director that kind of lost his life last year. So we asked you to go and watch Superman, the original Superman. Well, not the real original, but the original Superman in the film 1978. Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder, Gene Hackman, and the almighty Marlon Brando. That, God help me. Why?
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that.
What a piece of shit.
We're going to have some fun tonight. We kind of had that a little drop off with a guest. So we're going to have our dynamic duo coming in hot. I like this movie. All my feelings did not like this movie. So we're going to have some fun tonight. Before we continue, if you want to contribute to the show, if you want to just talk to me, talk to us, just follow me on Twitter at Mephisto. You can DM me. DMs are open. You can go on Instagram. I haven't even checked Instagram in about a week, but you can go there. Enjoy. You can always email the show at thereelmccoypodcast@gmail.com, which we both have access to, but we rarely check because, let's face it, we're busy. And that is about it. So how many times you watched this movie this week? Twice.
Suffered through it twice.
One more time more than me. I literally did not have time. Usually I try to do a twice over. Nope. I was busy. I was at court, actually. I was defending myself. Well, I was suing, but I was defending my. Yeah, I didn't tell you this. I I like to have a little bit of surprises before we start the show. It's just an
Huh.
insurance thing. We probably didn't
Okay.
win, but who gives a shit? We already paid, so it's just a bonus. Anyway, enough chit chat. This is Superman. This is important. So we're gonna go to the backstage of everything, go to all my feelings, and get the lowdown on everything on the production side. We call it behind the screens.
Production take 2.
All right, sir. You have extensive notes.
Okay, first and foremost, it took them over an entire year to even secure the film rights from DC to make the film.
Okay.
Now, the original productions company approved several actors to play Superman, and oh boy, we're going to get into casting about Superman later because that was a mess.
I have heard some things. I did a little bit of research myself
The-
this time.
The first people that were approved, number one, you'll never guess who it is.
Gene Hackman.
No,
Okay.
Muhammad Ali.
To play Superman?
Yes, sir.
Oh, people in Hollywood did not like Muhammad Ali back then.
Yes. So that Al Pacino, James Caan,
For
Steve
Superman?
yes. Oh, it gets weirder. Steve McQueen,
I get it.
Clint Eastwood,
I get that too.
and Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not Dustin. Definitely not
Yeah.
Dustin. All right. All right.
So as a
Okay.
full picture deal, what they wanted to do is they actually wanted to shoot Superman 1 and 2 back to back. So they had the original script writer actually write the entire script for 1 and 2, and they were shot consecutively. They were shot at the exact same time. There are a whole bunch of issues with that later, which we'll get to.
Wait. I knew that Richard Donner wanted to do them both. That's why the scene with General Zod is
Zod is at the
literally
very
the
beginning.
start.
Yeah,
But I didn't know they shot them back to back.
they did.
Okay.
They shot them consecutively. They were shooting scenes for Superman 2 while shooting Superman 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like the Lord of the Rings thing where they literally shot all 3 movies and then went back to do extra shots.
Yes. This also caused an issue with they had to do a lot of reshoots, which we'll get to in a second. So once it was actually George Lucas was originally offered the opportunity to film the original Superman, but he turned it down due to his commitment to Star Wars.
Yep.
Spielberg was considered, but the production company at the time wanted to see how Jaws would perform because it was supposed to be his big summer blockbuster. It came out, did gangbusters, and they're like, oh yeah, we want him. And Spielberg went, nah, they're going to let me make Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So I don't know. I don't want to be part of your rinky-dink Superman movie.
And there was a third director that I know before Donner, right?
Oh, there were several other directors before Donner as well.
I know that Lucas and Spielberg, but there was another like young Francis Ford Coppola.
Coppola,
right?
Yeah. Coppola did actually come in and help do some rewrites later, but that's another thing. The other major director that was really important at the time was Richard Lester, which we're going to get to because what a piece of work he was. Okay. There's a lot about this movie.
Oh, don't worry.
So,
dude, we have time. We have time. Let's go.
So, okay, Dustin Hoffman, after he was categorically shot down for the role of Superman, then was offered the role of Lex Luthor, then turned it down, quote unquote, out of spite.
Did I ever tell you that I don't like Dustin Hoffman as a person?
No, I did not know that.
Great actor. Great actor.
I
He's
was
been in
unaware of
a
this.
lot of films that I really like.
Yeah.
He is a piece of shit. He
Really?
is a
I had no idea.
literal piece of shit.
Yeah. Things I was not aware of.
Oh, yeah.
So we're never going to get back to some really funny bits. Brando had it in his contract to film all of his scenes in 12 days. That's it. That is all the time they were going to get with him. He refused to memorize the script, so they had to have people with cue cards on set to feed him his lines.
Not the first movie and not the last movie did that as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, look at the what is it? The Island of Dr. Moreau, which is one of the worst horror stories on film production of all time. Yeah,
He did that in the Paris movie, the one that he not allegedly raped that girl. Last Tango in Paris.
Last Tango in Paris. Which,
Yeah,
oddly enough, I was going to get to is while they were looking at scouting locations, they couldn't shoot anything in Italy because Marlon Brando had a warrant for him for an obscenity charge due to Last Tango in Paris.
Obviously.
Yes.
All right.
So the original scriptwriter, Puzo, wrote a 500-page script for both films combined.
Okay.
That's a lot. Even
That's
for
a lot.
2 films. Donner was quoted as saying 110 page, even a rough draft of a script is enough for 2 films. Why he wrote 500 pages, I will never understand.
Maybe he's like a Kevin Smith guy, a dialogue guy.
Yeah, well, Donner thought it was too bloated, so he brought in Tom Mankiewicz, who rewrote the entire script, and he is noted as stating, not a single word from Puzo's original script remained.
So he didn't get any credit as well.
He did.
I never look at the credits.
There is a site.
I never look at the
technically
credits.
get a writing credit because he did write the original. Yeah, that's a whole thing. So we're going to get back to the casting of Superman. Robert Redford was offered what they considered a very, very stupid amount of money to play the role, but turned it down because he thought the role was too small.
Really? Okay.
Talk about an ego.
Dude, remember, this is 78 when nerds were actually nerds.
Yeah,
and comic books were for nerds only. Not only for nerds, it's like 98% teenage male. Which
Redford passed on it. Then Burt Reynolds passed on it.
Okay.
Then Paul Newman passed on it.
Paul Newman?
Then Paul Newman turned down that role. He was offered the role of Lex Luthor, turned down that role. Then he was offered the role of Jor-El prior to it given to Marlon Brando, and he turned down that role too. Paul Newman wanted nothing with this atrocity, and Paul Newman, you make good sound dressing.
Off. No,
and you're a brilliant actor.
Shut the fuck up. No.
Now, Sylvester Stallone, Neil fucking Diamond.
Neil the singer?
Yes.
As
and
Superman?
Arnold Schwarzenegger lobbied to be cast for the role, but they were turned down just full stop.
I would get why Arnold would be turned down because back then he really had that heavy axe. I mean, he always had the.
He wasn't even really known for anything yet because I think that Conan hadn't even come out yet, and I think maybe he was in Hercules in New York, and that was the only thing he's been known outside of Mr. Universe. But
yeah, he did a few things. Just an odd question. He did a few things for Playboy magazine as the TV portion of the Playboy magazine. Was it?
Yeah.
Pre-78?
I'm not sure. I'm not certain.
No. All right. Never mind.
Don't know off the top of my head, but okay. Then after that, Warren Beatty turned down the role.
Okay.
Overall, over 200 actors either tried to get cast on the role, were turned down, lobbied, were turned down, or flat out rejected the role.
All right, cool. How did they get to Christopher Reeve?
They got to Christopher Reeve, given the fact that he was going to be able to work super cheap. And he had done some off work with Richard Lister and a couple of other previous directors that were considered for the directing role. So he got kind of a recommendation on a recommendation on a recommendation. And he was really popular in the New York play scene at the time.
Question.
Yes.
Do you have in your notes the connection to Robin Williams?
No, I don't.
Robin Williams and Christopher Reeve were good friends because they were together in Juilliard in New York.
Oh, that makes sense.
And when Christopher Reeve got the okay, we've got you, he called Robin Williams in LA because Robin Williams was in LA.
Because he was he still working on Mork and Mindy?
It was at the Mork and Mindy era.
Yeah.
And he called him. He's like, I'm not like, they offered me this. I'm not so sure I'm in for it. And Robin said, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
You'll be a household name after this.
And
that's nothing from
this
week's research that I've done, which is yay small. That is something that I've seen in a very detailed documentary about Robin Williams.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. It's something that stuck in my mind, and it kind of resurfaced while I was watching it. Well, the Superman movie.
Speaking of the reason why Reeve was so cheap as well, he was only paid $250,000 for both films.
Even in '78, that's cheap.
Dirt cheap for your leading man in 2 major motion pictures.
Yeah.
While Gene Hackman was paid $2 million per film.
Okay.
Brando was paid $3.75 million, and he was given 11.75% of the film's box office gross.
Are you insane?
Overall, he ended up making $19 million off this movie.
Question. Do you have in your notes something that belongs with the script that Marlon Brando got? Okay.
No, but I do know the fact that he insisted on being paid in gold.
Okay. I didn't know that, but
he got paid actually in gold.
Bars of gold. Okay.
Yes.
At the time, he had a private island. I'm not so sure he had it later. Doesn't really matter. At the time, he had a private island that he owned. Okay. To get him off the island, he asked for money. So they didn't want to get him off the island to come and read the script. He got paid $120,000 to read the script. Not even say yes. Read the script for Superman. $120,000 in 1978 to read the script.
And you know why? Did you see? You've seen Superman 2, right?
Yep.
You know how Brando's parts are cut from Superman 2?
Yes.
Do you know why?
They
didn't want to fucking pay him anymore.
They didn't want to pay him.
No, Donner had parts filmed with Brando in them.
Yeah.
They didn't want to include him because save money.
Yep.
Speaking of that, so they got through all the way through filming Superman 1 and 2 consecutively. They got Superman 1 finished. They got Superman 2 finished up to, from what the estimates were, about 75% done. But they were going to wait until Superman 1 came out to see what the box office would pull in before they finished it, because they didn't want to, throw out all the money beforehand. In the interim, they let Donner go. And they brought in Richard Lister to finish Superman 2. And it shows. Richard Lister was also the director who directed Superman 3. That terrible abomination. Yeah.
If you haven't If you haven't seen Superman 3, audience, there's nobody here, so it's just us two. So it's going to be on the VOD. If anybody watches this, we're 20 minutes in. If you haven't watched Superman 3, you owe yourself to watch it once. I've watched it more than once. Trust me, once is enough.
It's bad. It's terrible.
It's really bad because at the very least, there's 4 different elements in it, as in
there are all of these different subplots. It's like you have the Richard Pryor subplot, the main villain subplot, whose entire concept is I'm going to control the weather so I can control all of the coffee plants. It's like the fuck.
Yeah. And I'm going to build a supercomputer that has an AI. That's like another subplot. And you've got the kryptonite that is full of tar.
That literally this is not a joke. It turns Superman into an asshole.
Yeah. And also Superman
doesn't weaken him, it just makes him a real prick.
Yeah. Splits into 2 and he kills his bad self.
Clark Kent and Superman fight each other in some kind of astral projection dreamscape fever dream in that film. It's wild. So why did they ever make this? What was so funny though?
But it does have Lana Lang in it, so who cares?
Yeah. Well, about Richard Lister though, beforehand he actually warned Richard Donner to not work with this production company because that production company owed him back money from the Three Musketeers and the Four Musketeers.
Okay.
That Richard Lister did beforehand, and Richard Lister was still suing them to get paid for it when they brought him on to finish Superman 2.
Hollywood.
Oh my God, it's so dumb.
Oh, well, that's why.
So moving back to Christopher
okay.
Reeve real quick.
Yeah.
Reeve refused to wear any kind of muscle plating or anything like like prosthetic or anything. So they had him trained with David Prose, who you would know very well.
David Prose?
Yes. He played Darth Vader in the original Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, it's the guy in the suit.
Yeah.
He died like a couple of years ago.
Yep.
It's like really recently.
Yeah.
Right?
And he actually wanted to play Non, but they brought in it was, oh my God, I forgot his name. And I've got stories about him.
He's like in everything.
It's Jack O'Halloran, who was at one point in time was going to be the heavyweight boxing champion of the world too. He was a really good boxer.
I think he was up for the role of the bad guy in Highlander, and he lost to Clancy
Brown. Yeah,
to Zim. He lost to Zim. Clancy Brown.
Yep. That's Brown. Yep. So throughout his training with David Prose, Reeve put on 32 pounds of muscle. He went from 180 to 212. This caused a major problem because at the beginning of shooting, he did not look the same as he did at the end of shooting. So they had to go back and reshoot a shitload of scenes.
Okay.
Because all of a sudden Superman got bigger.
That's weird. Okay.
Then speaking of all the whole thing with Jack O'Halloran, apparently Jack O'Halloran, wildly fascinating man. Listen to an interview that he had with Paul Scheer on How Did This Get Made about Superman 3, actually, just a couple of weeks ago. And I re-listened to it this week because it's really important to this. He had so much to say about how Richard Lister was the most unprofessional director he had ever worked with. He's like, yeah, if he didn't show up drunk, he was too stupid to even direct somebody anyway.
But that's Superman 2.
But then also what he said is he had so many issues with getting paid. He once went to it was the Sulkins. He went to their major production studio head. He flew back from overseas to California. His check hadn't cleared yet. He went to their office, grabbed the guy over his desk and went, I don't get paid, we're going to have a problem.
Security.
He was
Security.
like, he said, "Are you threatening me?" He goes, "No, I'm
No.
making you a sincere promise."
And he never worked in Hollywood again.
Actually, no, he actually did it.
No, he
work
did.
in
He
it.
did
Yeah.
a lot of work.
What's funny too is Jack O'Halloran. His father is basically the Godfather was based off of his father. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. He's a wildly fascinating man. Then one last little story about Christopher Reeves and Jack. Apparently, Christopher Reeves was quite the little bit of a diva after the success of Superman 1 really started. So when they started filming the ending of Superman 2, coming in and also doing reshoots, apparently he had a bit of an attitude where he wanted to be method because he wanted to be an actor now.
Okay.
So he wanted to pretend like, well, he wanted to make sure that everyone like, no, I'm Superman. I should be referred to as Superman. And
Oh no.
Jack had no patience, and he did not suffer any kind of fools. So apparently, one night they were at some place.
You mean Gene? Not Jack Hackman. Gene Hackman.
No, Jack O'Halloran.
Oh, okay.
Non, the guy who plays Non.
Yeah. Okay.
So Jack had they butted heads a little bit, and then apparently one night it came to a head where they were doing reshoots for the beginning of Superman 2, which Donner was still on. This is before they let Donner go and Lister came on. Jack confronted, I want to get this right because it's really funny. Jack confronted Reeves, walked up, grabbed him, picked him up by his throat with one hand. You've seen the man. He's a mountain of fucking muscle. He had him up by one hand. Richard Donner went in, grabbed him, and going, Jack, just not in the face.
That's fucking Hollywood, man. That's so fucking stupid, man.
Jack said, I dropped the kid, referring to Reeves, and I was bent over, double O. I was laughing so hard, I was crying.
Oh, you know, we've been talking about this movie for about 27 minutes now. And
this is just the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
But it's because we have to, because this film's god awful, and we're going to go through this real fast.
Oh, yeah. We can go through, dude, we can go through the movie real fast to make sure you're, you know.
The only other thing to add was at the time it had the highest production budget of any film at all time, estimated. Yeah, it was astronomical.
Yeah, I would say so. You know what's weird? In the credits, Christopher Reeves is after Ned Beatty.
Yeah.
It's very weird. Like, it's the side character of Lex Luthor.
But Ned Beatty had done more films at the time, so he was still technically a bigger box office draw than Christopher Reeves. So
I mean, he was in Deliverance, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. So the movie starts with the General Zod. Wait, there we go.
It's
the General Zod sentencing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, I literally brain farted. I turned on the movie and was like, oh yeah, I'm used to that. And then I got to thinking, wait, isn't this like the first scene of Superman 2? Where technically it is, but they took only the parts where there's no Marlon Brando and kind of redid it to have a reminder so you know where the whole Superman 2 comes from.
Yeah, because it's sort of an off bit of script. Because if you were to watch the films back to back, of course you'd be able to pick it up. But if you're just going to go see Superman 2, be like, who the hell are these people and why should we care?
And even if you're just watching, let's say you're just watching Superman 1, or it says Superman, doesn't say Superman 1, but it says Superman. There's this bit, and they don't touch it throughout the movie. So why is it there? Right? So I'm just giving that's my side kind of thing. So we get to see.
Oh, also, side note, what was your runtime on the film?
2:23. I think it's the direct.
Okay, so you have the extended version then. Okay, we watched the same one. I didn't want to bring something up for a scene, and you're like, what?
You can bring it up now. You can bring it up now. We're going off order. Doesn't matter. So what was the extra?
No. I don't know what the extra scenes were, but I'm just saying if I were to bring something up and be like, I don't remember that at all. If you had watched the original version, so yeah.
So I'm gonna skim by. So we got the trial, and then we got the entire houses of Krypton. I'm gonna flash
it's
it just a little bit.
It's the startup of the beginning of Superman. They all reject.
They all reject
assertion that
Jor-El
and
his theory. It's literally. Let's just say this. Let's just for canon's sake, Superman literally takes the story of Superman from, let's say, the first Superman was 1937, 38.
Yeah. Action Comics #1. Yeah.
Action Comics #1. DC Comics. Was Stan Lee there?
No, Stan Lee never worked for DC. Only worked for Marvel. No. Sorry, I take that back. He worked for DC he worked for DC for a very short period of time.
For a very short time. Then he started. Then he went to Marvel. Never mind. Anyway, so
I think he pulled over Kirby then too. Yeah, but yeah.
Anyway, so we get a full-on origin story because there was a TV series with Superman that had some sort of they had some sort of an origin story, but not as elaborate as the comic book.
Yes.
By the way, are we going to discuss yeah, we're going to save it till the end. At the summary, remind me, we're going to talk about the Superman curse.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's a part of the whole, like, the entire Superman genre in Hollywood. So, reminder.
So same with the while we talk about that, about the Confederacy of Dunces as well, how that movie will never get made. That they go hand in hand. Yeah.
Okay. No worries. So we got a full-on Superman origin story with the explosion of Krypton.
And it's also no wonder why your planet blew up. It's all made out of crystals.
What? My dog is barking. Hold.
Okay.
She's yelling at another dog in the street. God damn it. All right. You probably didn't hear it, but it bothered me. No, never mind. So we got a full-on storyline with sending the baby to Earth. And while he travels, you get a little bit of, why you're going there, and a little bit of why Superman is so smart, or smarter than the average human, because he got fed all these theories, math, English, all that. How did they know? No idea. They don't explain that much, but it adds
also, how did he eat for 3 years?
Well, the crystals nourished him.
Well, they say that too. And what's funny is there's a line later where he says, by this time you should be 18 years old. I've been dead for thousands of years.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Don't think about it. Just don't think about it. Well, if you're traveling in the speed of light, time moves differently for you. So you can spend 3 years. Fuck it. I'm not going to explain physics now.
No, you're talking about physics and time dilation. Yeah, we're not going to get into it. It's still just a general concept where it's just like for the layman, just looking like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, do not get any physics from me. I'm a dumbass. Trust me. No. So we get to see the Kents kind of rescue the baby, and of course,
which in a way he's not a baby either. He's a toddler.
He's a toddler.
And Ma Kent's whole thing, where it's just like, well, yeah, no one will know this baby is missing. It's like, you're committing kidnapping. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, we're just gonna tell it's my cousin that had it and didn't want it because it's out of marriage or whatever. It's like, what? What?
No,
What?
you're stealing a child.
Hey.
And then, and Pa Kent, Jonathan Kent, and the entire time too is going like, no, we have to find this baby's parents. I'm gonna be responsible until he sees the baby lift up a car and goes, well, fuck me, that'll be useful.
Oh, that'll be useful on the farm.
Farm, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I always thought at this point, all I came up with is, well, if they know somebody like Andy Dufresne, they can literally make a whole birth certificate, because back then it was all pen and paper.
No. But what's really funny too is though what I did like that Donner had this touch in there. Him lifting up the car is actually an homage to the cover of Action Comics #1 with Superman lifting.
Yeah, where he. By the way,
yeah.
I didn't know it, but it came up when I saw the new Lois Lane. Not Lois Lane.
Is it Superman and Lois? Is that it?
Superman and Lois Lane series that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's on the CW. Haven't watched it, but I did watch a like an image from it. They went with the old 1937, 38 symbol. They didn't go with this symbol.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the symbol we got here is the most recognizable symbol. So the big S, which isn't an S, but it is.
No, it's not. It's actually it's a callback to his actual family clan name of the L's. Yeah. So we're gonna go to Teenage Kent. This is a fun note.
Oh,
did you realize that all of the actors' lines were overdubbed?
Yes.
They were all overdubbed by who? Christopher Reeve. He was that much of a fucking control freak about the character. He wanted it to remain so method that he wanted his actual voice to be in throughout the film. And you could tell too, his nose, the actor's nose, is a prosthetic. That poor kid had to sit through 3 to 4 hours of prosthetic makeup every single day to look more like Christopher Reeve.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bit dumb.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
but
it's stupid.
But now you're a comic book guy. Is this the most common origin story? Because I know they have a little bit of a change throughout time, but the most common.
It's still the most recognizable one.
Most
recognizable. Sorry, it's the same thing with Spider-Man and Uncle Ben. It's the same thing. With great power comes great responsibility for Spider-Man. It's the same thing with Pa Kent dying, but before he's like, well, you were brought here for a purpose, and you're supposed to, like, trying to instill goodness in his son. So it's the same kind of idea that's passed down through the ages on every single story.
So after Pa Kent dies,
I was going to mention one thing real quick too, is that poor kid that also played Teenage Kent. He tore his quads 4 times while doing the train running scene, because they were pulling him along with basically a pulley with a line attached to him. So again, he was over the ground while he was quote unquote running. But sometimes the line would dip down and his line would actually hit dirt.
Oh, dude! Ow!
Yeah.
Oh.
That kid got a real rough deal in this movie.
So he finds the old vehicle, finds the thing, and he takes off to Antarctica or the North Pole, whichever one it is.
Which it's also, how the hell did he know how to go there? Because no one gave him instructions. He's just like, must go. Well, he got the idea he had to go north. That was his only kind of instruction, was go north.
Oh, it's the North Pole. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Didn't you see the obviously fake polar bear in that one shot? Come on, it's obviously the North Pole.
Don't get me started. I've watched too many times. I've watched the Kevin Smith story about how Return of Superman went. Never mind.
Oh my God!
The Nicolas Cage.
I still want that movie so bad. I want that movie so bad.
The Tim Burton Nicolas Cage. Never mind. It's hilarious.
He has to fight a giant spider. He has to fight a giant spider.
When he goes to the North Pole, can he like fight a bear? Because we need an action scene. It's like, no, did you want him to wrestle a bear? Why? Because polar bears are the most ruthless killers in the animal kingdoms. What? Never mind, guys. If you're still watching us and don't understand what we're talking about, just type in Kevin Smith Superman story.
It's so fucking hilarious.
It's distilling Hollywood producers into a tea.
Joel Schumacher, what a god! Joel
it's
Schumacher,
not. It's John Peters.
But Joel Schumacher was involved in that too.
No, not in Kevin Smith's story. So
he said it on another one. But never mind.
Don't worry about it.
Move on. It doesn't matter.
It's a dumb story.
It's a side story of a side story. It doesn't matter.
It's a side story of a side story. You know what? Talking about side story, let's go to our first segment of the night, shall we? It's been too long. It is Missing Marquee. Missing Marquee for the uninitiated is very simple. We flash in 10 posters. They have their text written off. And Oh My Feelings is going to guess which movie this is. Dude, this week has been extremely easy. Not because I was expecting Big Mike, because it's just the luck of the draw. I'm not joking, okay?
Let's see.
Since nobody's here, we're going to have some fun for 1 minute. TikTok. Let's go.
Addams Family.
Easy.
Backdraft.
Backdraft.
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns. Talk about Tim Burton.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko.
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
JFK.
JFK.
The Kingsman.
The Kingsman. Fantastic film.
Is that Lethal Weapon 3?
That's Lethal Weapon. That's not 3.
4. 4, yeah. Chris Rock.
Notice the Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, yeah. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Correct.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth. And that's it. That's the 10. Quick fire round, and we're done. Back to Superman.
I think that was about 1 minute.
TikTok, bitch. So we get back to that. We get this shot, which is by the way, glorious.
Yes. When they create this, when they go into Jor-El's training his son and teaching him, it looks like amateur night at a planetarium. It looks fucking awful. We're talking like fucking Laser Floyd here.
This is 78. What did you expect? A CGI floating head?
I know. It's still so bad, though. Oh, my God.
No, it's
so
not.
Awful.
It's
I'm
good,
thinking about everything outside of the Marlon Brando head was like, by the way, when we're moving through the universe, it's like, did he just drop at like 3 sheets of window pane and just lay back and just like, hey, what's up, Dad?
May I have to remind you, this is Marlon Brando here, right?
Yeah, I know.
I still don't know to this day why this particular actor has been revered throughout time. He was two great roles, and that is absolutely it.
What would be your picks? Mine's obviously Rebel Without a Cause.
Rebel Without a Cause. Oh, 3. On the Waterfront.
Yeah.
And Godfather, Part 1.
Godfather? Oh,
So
I
3.
was actually gonna go with a Kubrick film. But
which one?
Never mind. Move on. Moving on.
No. Which one?
Let's just move on.
I hated him in Apocalypse Now.
See, that's
I hated him in Apocalypse Now. And Dr. Moreau's Island, no.
No way, no, he's awful.
He was fat, he was old, he was fucking decrepit.
He didn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
He didn't give a shit in this film either, but
I still love it though. Not him.
Okay. So they go through the entire training and everything, and apparently what he mentions is the fact that it's been 12 years. So he's 30 now.
Yes.
Second question is, where did he get the suit?
According to the comic book, his mother made it for him.
Well, his cape
So-
is the blanket that he was wrapped in,
Yes.
which that makes sense. But the suit, meh.
Well, imagination, I guess. You know what? When I watched, even the first time I watched this, I did not care. If you watched this, well, if you're like a 7-year-old, 8-year-old around
Yeah.
the 80s watching this, and you're like, "Fuck, this is Superman." You don't care about the special effects. You don't care about where he got the suit from. You don't care. And the fact that it was, generally speaking, aimed for teenage boys. I would definitely say this movie is aimed for teenage boys. Same way that Iron Man was aimed for teenage boys, maybe less. Captain America, even Black Panther.
But those films all made way more sense.
Dude, even Black Panther was aimed for teenage boys. It doesn't matter if they're African American or white or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's aimed for teenage boys.
Yeah, because you have to remember, at the heart of them, they're all action films, so they want that demographic of the 18 to 25 male. That's what they really want. That's what they want most of all. But anyway,
they want the core demographic, and they want them to bring their parents to the movie, not go alone.
So we get this the time jump, basically, where it's 12 years. Then he just randomly shows up in Metropolis at the Daily Planet. And there must have been some kind of back and forth conversation beforehand, because how the hell would anyone get hired at a major metropolitan newspaper if they have no education whatsoever?
Well, technically, there is the backstory where he was writing for Smallville. By the way, they did keep the Superman doesn't fly until he gets to the Fortress of Solitude.
Yes. Yeah.
And by the way, in the 12 years, it doesn't say that he was there for 12 years. So he could have just flown back and forth.
That's fair. That's fair. Again,
okay?
but so again, we don't have that kind of
if
context.
If you get to the nitty-gritty, they don't explain it. They have to explain the fact that he is young when he gets to the Fortress of Solitude, and when he has completed his training, it's 12 years to get everything.
But
it doesn't say he's there for 12 years.
Okay. So, but moving on from that point, so we also get to our first glimpse of Lois Lane, aka Margot Crazy Kidder, because we're gonna mock the ever-loving shit out of her acting throughout the rest of this review, because oh my god, it is awful. It is so bad.
Awful. It's terrible. I have no idea why they. Do you have anything in your notes?
No.
Why they?
I have no other. I have no notes that they screen tested anyone else for the role of Lois Lane. I couldn't find anything.
It's a fucking mystery, this thing. Because I remember I told you last week at the end of the episode, I don't know why they casted Margot Kidder for this thing. And like I said, I did very, very little research about this. And the one thing I did want to find out is why is this woman in this movie? She did like 1 or 2 movies before this. One of them was a TV movie nobody watched.
It could because of a budget too. The same thing with Reeve, where they just like, oh yeah, by the way, we could pay her peanuts and she'll just do the job. So who cares?
It must have been that. It must.
But I will say too, along with Margot Kidder, Lois Lane apparently is a terrible reporter. She cannot spell for shit.
There's only one P in rapist. That's what? Oh,
she had to ask that wrong. She had to ask Jimmy Olsen, the fledgling photographer, how many T's are in bloodletting? It's like, you write for a major metropolitan newspaper, the equivalent to what would be basically the New York Times. What? Moving on. So we
moving
have
on.
that.
So
we have that little bit of conversation there with
I'm literally moving forward to the mugging scene. So
with
this is
the only thing I wanted to add though about the scene with the reporter boss, the editor Perry White, was that he tells Lois he's more than just a mild-mannered reporter. That's what Clark Kent was always referred to. Like, oh, I got you, Don. I see what you did there.
That's Donner. That's Donner.
Donner. Yeah.
Keeping to the comic book.
Yeah.
That's something. That's something.
Yeah. So then we had the mugging situation too, where Clark plays kind of the chicken shit.
Yeah,
as
he
he's supposed
faints after he caught that bullet.
What's funny too is if you notice, Clark Kent and Superman, they both part their hair on different sides.
On different sides. Yes, I know.
Yeah,
I know. We'll when we get to the interview.
Well, then Clark accidentally tells Lois Lane
what's exactly
what's in her purse. It's like, come on, man. You're kind of just letting things go real easily.
Yeah, and after that, we get introduced to Lex
Otis,
Luthor, the greatest.
Lex Luthor
Otis. Yeah, you know what? Otis and Miss Tessmacher, kind of weird, stupid henchman.
I'm going to tell it's a real slight little aside. One of my friends goes, "Oh yeah, if you listen to him say Miss Tessmacher, Gene Hackman, scream it." I swear to God, it was my friends was like, I swear to God, he kept saying Miss Pisstaker.
No, I've heard that before.
Then I kept listening to him like, it does kind of sound like that.
No, I've heard that rumor before. No, he does yell it quite convincingly.
Yes.
So, of course, Lex Luthor is a real estate schemer, because whatever. He's
known by the cops as well, because they're going after him like, yeah, we'll follow Otis and then we'll get the big boss. Where it's like, if you knew that Lex Luthor is such this master criminal, he's not hiding very well.
No. So they know he's down in the sewers, but they don't know exactly where.
Where you could look at any building schematics in Park Avenue, this would be built into the schematics.
Yeah.
Or someone would have to have had some kind of, building permits to have this secret layer built. You couldn't just do that in the middle of a city. It's like, oh, don't mind me breaking up the floor of a hotel lobby.
So we progress from there to the actual reveal of Superman.
Yes.
Where you get a little bit of back and forth between Clark and Lois, where he kind of follows her to the ladies because she's going off to meet the president. And she gets to go on the company's helicopter, and he is not. But they're supposed to be there together.
Yes. And then we get the issue with the cable tying around
the thing, and the helicopter gets jammed and almost falls over, and
then we get
Clark.
Then we get the overacting from Margot Kidder. Her first bit of screaming, where it's just like, "Oh my God, someone shut this woman up."
You mean this? Not exactly this, but this.
Everything around this, yes. Oh, it's awful. It's so bad.
By the way, they have this is where they lost me. They have a serious timing issue. Do you see the like EMTs and everything downstairs? Mm-hmm. How did they get there that fast?
How did they get there? Yeah.
How did they get there that fast? Nope. That's a big mistake. Big continuity. There's no way. That's the reason Superman has to intervene, because it's so...
Because he's there instantaneously.
Immediate, instantly. It happened in like 30 seconds, and she's always like hanging through. But we get a reveal where they do a little bit of a cheeky thing here. And this is what I want to show. It's really tough.
What, the pimp?
No. Because the whole thing, because
Yeah, not an actual full phone booth. Yeah.
So the whole point is Superman gets into a phone booth where the phone booth is usually an enclosure where he can like put his clothes away and leave them there to come back to it to redress himself, right? That's the comic book thing. But in real life, it's 78. So he comes into the phone and is like, no, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
So he runs literally in the middle of the street and opens the thing and goes into a revolving door. And then he literally loses his clothing somehow and
puts it
gets
somewhere.
remarked from a pimp.
Pimp be like, that's a bad outfit.
And he goes into like a series of either rescues or savings or doing the good deed. So he rescues Lois. And it's like, I got you, miss. It's like, I got you. Who's got you? Got me.
Yeah.
Who's got you?
Yeah.
So he grabs her. He grabs the helicopter.
Where it's the same thing where there's always that issue with Superman where you always have to have your suspension of disbelief because it's just like, yeah, by the way, that's not how physics works. That would fall right off and the helicopter go, me.
Yeah. The thing is, he leaves her and he does it's a very Superman Donner thing to like, oh, I'm going to stop. And I'm going to say, well, technically, it is statistically is still good to have flights are safe and you should rely on them. So don't.
It's actually the most reliable form of travel. So don't let this turn you off flying, Miss
Yeah,
Lane.
exactly. And I was like, okay. And then he grabs this guy off like he's the guy who's
he's trying to break into.
He's climbing on top of a building. So I get this little bit of, when he climbs up, there's a Superman leg in front of him, which is funny. And he gets him to the cop where the cop is like, what the fuck is going on? And then he saves. No, there's
a shootout that he stops.
Yeah, the shootout. And they go on a boat and he like goes on the boat and gets the four guys and the boat itself. He gets it on the pier. And then
there's the one guy who hits him over the head with a crowbar and it just vibrates and goes, bad vibrations, huh?
Yeah. And then he saves the cat. And and I love this bit. It is so 70s. It's unreal. When the girl, he gets the cat and she goes home and it's like, mommy, this man flew from the sky and saved kitty cat. It's like, stop telling lies.
Yep.
Oh.
Then he goes. Then he saves the president. And the guy, the one pilot is like, just don't look out. Just keep flying. Just
fly. Just
trust me.
Fly.
Just keep flying.
Just fly. Don't ask what's out there. Just fly. And of course, back to that. How did Lex Luthor hear about this before the press?
Yeah.
Because he discusses this with Otis, and Otis puts on the robe while he's still in the water, which is like, dude, Gene Hackman is such a great comedian without being a comedian.
He is, with the way, chewing up scenery. He is so eating good. It alive.
He is so fucking good as Lex Luthor. It is a crime that he wasn't in Superman 3.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man.
What I find interesting too is Luthor's almost kind of unbridled like joy at Superman's existence, because like, oh wow, an actual true challenge.
Yeah, he says the best criminal mind of our time needs a the best criminal foe or folly to make it interesting, which is a novel concept. Like, your main villain wants to have the toughest, hardest challenge for the crime of the century. I would say maybe no, but he is so vain that it exudes. That's why
that
Gene Hackman
Carly Simon
so
may have
good.
wrote a song about him.
Yeah, And of course, Perry Perry wants the interview, and of course, Lois Lane
What does he
does.
say? Like whoever gets this interview would be like having the interview that Moses had with God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have the sort of a little bit of exposition dump where kind of Superman explains to the people where he's from, but also his weaknesses.
Because he doesn't actually explain his weakness. He just says, "Well, I'm from a distant galaxy. You know, I'm from." But
a planet called
it was
Krypton.
Lex Luthor who's the one who figures it out, which
but
in context makes no sense whatsoever. Like, oh yeah, this meteorite that happened to land at a certain point in time, yeah, of course, it's from his planet, and of course, it's super radioactive and it'll kill him. What?
Yeah, that made no sense. As far as you know, did the comic book ever explain why kryptonite is harmful to Superman, or did they never explain it?
Well, because it's part of the original planet of Krypton. Because on Krypton, all the Kryptonians, they're just like normal people.
Yeah,
and it's also due to the red sun. See, the yellow rays of the sun actually really empower Superman, and he's also just basically, it'd be the same thing like if you were to be growing up on I believe, because Mars has denser gravity, so if you were to be on,
it has a lighter gravity.
So
you'd be more powerful on the moon or on Mars than
so it would be the same thing like if you were to grow up on well, if you could survive living on Jupiter, because that has a very dense gravity, especially around that eye. If you had lived there for a long enough period of time where your body had become accustomed to it, and you were to
then come back to Earth, you would be stronger, harder, and and the one thing I didn't get in this is the fact that he takes her for a ride, and he kind of references the fact that like they went into the Peter Pan conversation, which is it's a Donner thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a very much a Donner thing. So like this is like a fantasy, but it's not a fantasy because Peter Pan is just in the books. Look at what I can do. And he whisked away. There's a whole montage of them flying and her thinking he can read her mind, which is
how fucked up was Margot Kidder when she delivered these lines.
Oh, dude, that was awful. I love it though.
Like, oh my god! Somebody
don't get
this
me wrong.
woman help.
I love it though. It's just weird.
It's hey, you're in my head. What am I thinking?
But really is the whole scene, the whole interview, the whole shtick is just to me is just a preparation for when kind of Superman leaves and automatically you get a knock on the door and it's Clark.
Clark. It was like okay, that's a nice move there. That was the subtle difference there to try to throw off the fact that Superman is Clark Kent.
Yes, but when he enters the door, he has like I'm gonna play it out. So he's a little bit hunched back, so he takes off the glasses and he like raises himself up to like to know I'm Superman. The thing is, I don't know if it's a movie mistake or not. She opens the door. She literally looks at it. I thought she was looking at the floor, so she didn't notice he has no glasses. But she literally walks in as he is like this, and then he has that second thought because he literally has the glasses in his hands and he's thinking about it. And when she walks in, she looks at him and he puts on the glasses.
Well, and side note too, I'm sorry, this is not a she's all that sort of situation or any kind of teenage rom-com from the 90s throughout, well, a little bit from the 80s as well, all the way throughout in perpetuity, where all of a sudden the clearly outrageously attractive young lady. Oh, they take her glasses off and they put some makeup on and now she's gorgeous. I'm like, no, she was always gorgeous. And it's also like, by the way, Clark Kent is clearly fucking Superman the entire time. If you look at him, it's like, dude, that's Superman.
Well, that's your gripe with the entire Superman genre, not particularly this movie.
See, that's the whole thing about Superman. It's why I always dislike that him as a character.
You want to go at the end? We can skip by and
We'll
go
talk about it later.
to your Superman rant at the end.
But anyway, so after that, then
there's
then,
the whole
again,
there's
right
the whole
after this,
rocket
that's
thing.
where Luthor just automatically just deciphers that. Oh yeah, Krypton will kill him.
Yeah,
duh.
Oh, and there's a thing in like there's a meteorite in Addis Ababa, so we can go grab that. The whole time of the movie is literally it just goes. It skips to that, and it skips to we already grabbed it. Oh, it skips to the rockets. Then it skips to Superman, come here and come stop me, and I'll tell you my devious plan that you cannot stop because I have a kryptonite here, so I can kill you. But first, we get this, right? We get the whole bit where you get Miss Tessmacher lying down, and Otis is the one that like turns the coordinates on the rocket. Then they meet up to go to the second rocket, realizing that Otis did an absolute boo-boo.
Messed up.
Because he messed up the coordinates, which sends the rocket to actually the other side of the fucking US.
Yes. What's funny too is just that entire scene with Miss Tessmacher on the ground where the superior officer says, well, I wouldn't do anything that I wouldn't ask my men to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. Where it's just like, is everybody in this film just willing to commit sexual assault? Because it happens on several different occasions.
Dude, you have to realize this is the 70s. It's the late 70s.
I know. It's just funny. It's just like, wow, everyone's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, we have evolved. Leave it be. It's perfect as it is. So you get.
I will say the only other thing that's funny about that too is the fact that that Lex Luthor had that remote control car. Do you remember that?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Well, so I'm trying to aim it towards the thing.
So we'll say we have the next is Perry White's. Yeah,
Perry. You get a little bit of shots where you know that Lois Lane is where San Andreas is. Jimmy Olsen is at the Hoover Dam, just to get placings for everybody. And you get the newsreel of the nuclear test that they're going to do. And of course, we get this where Perry is literally telling Clark Kent to be more aggressive. And as he's saying that, he gets that little, nod in his ear where, I know only you and several dogs can hear me.
Well, nothing without less than 4 legs would be able to hear this except you. Yeah. I know this is the only way I can get this message only to you, Superman. Yeah.
And I love the fact that like Clark or Superman literally is like, okay, let's go. And he falls off a window. He's not falling. He's literally jumping on. Nobody in the fucking thing sees him falling off.
Or wouldn't you, as Perry White, the editor, be like, oh my God, I just convinced this poor young kid to kill himself?
Don't get me wrong. I love this so much. But there are there's discrepancies in the story where you have to suspend your disbelief. It's like, he's like, he really wants to go, so there's nowhere to change, so he just jumps off a window. He didn't break it, so nobody would notice him jumping off the window, obviously. I mean,
That, or was that supposed to
he
be on
didn't
the
want to have
plane?
that little. He didn't want to have that little hole the size of Superman in the window as he
Yeah.
jumps through.
I was going to say, or was that kind of a play on the fact that Donner is making how Clark Kent is kind of invisible to a lot of the people that he works with, because he even had that situation with Lois where he's like, well, can you be a dear and take this letter off for me? And he's going toward the elevator, and he said, hold the elevator, and it closes on him.
Yeah.
And the other guy is like, no, it's going up.
It does make sense, but so we get the titular villain and the titular hero meeting up for the very first time, and
which in so many ways, this is so Bond-esque.
Yes, this is like, look at my evil plan, ha 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 ha, at my evil lair, and by the way, shoot him or something, right?
Which, side note, real quick, Jack O'Halloran almost got the role to play Jaws.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
he was almost picked to play Jaws. Yeah, I could see
that. Yeah. I can see that. I love the fact that this plan has Otisburg in it written down.
Oh yeah, when he wrote Otisburg on there, like, but Miss Tessmacher gets a piece of land with my name on it. Like, no, it's fine, I'll wipe it off.
It's such a comedy bit in like, it's a serious moment. It's like the reveal of the scheme, right? And it's such a great little moment in the whole fucking film. It just gives levity to the whole thing. Because Superman is pissed. He is pissed because he sees injustice, right? He sees full-on injustice in front of him. It's like, how are you going to do this? Like, easy. It's already done. Where?
And side note as well, Luther really didn't think this whole thing through, because these are nuclear warheads, correct?
Yes.
What about the fallout on the land that's going to be left over?
Who gives a shit?
How are you going to sell an irradiated wasteland?
By the way, just so you know, the nuclear strike thing came up like last week.
Yeah.
About like Russia with the different warheads. I saw a guy literally have there's a map, there's a website you could go to, and you can put a dot somewhere and you just regulate how many kilotons or megaton bomb would have dropped at that specific point. And you get like circle of hit where it's full on devastation. Then another ring is like shockwave blast. Then another ring is the irradiated zone of radiation. By the way, not all nuclear bombs leave nuclear waste. Not these days. Back then, yes. Today, no. So you have like, so if a bomb, a 50 megaton bomb, which is this bomb, falls in the San Andreas Fault, there's literally a lot of desert there, but it can get to Sacramento or something. Literally. I saw one map where it's like, if it falls here in the San Andreas Fault, that would have like irradiates Sacramento.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about it going east.
It goes east and west.
Well, no, but I'm saying the land that it's going to affect, that he's trying to eventually make all the money off of, where it's just
No. Don't get me wrong. The entire side of where he wants to have that land would not be cleared for about 600 years. Yeah. Something like that, which is odd, but we get the fun facts right here in the Reel McCoy podcast, right?
It would be a lot better if he had put some underground drill in order to cause fracking along the fault to break it so it'd be an even break.
Yeah.
Then that way, I could sell the land now.
Oh, by the way, look, we started with physics. Now we're going to go to geology.
Geology, yes.
By the way, the two land masses that are in San Andreas Fault, it's a top layer and a smaller layer. If I'm not mistaken, comment section down below. We're at an hour and 14 minutes. If somebody watches this podcast till this point, the landmass on the California side is above the other one, if I'm not mistaken. So if there's a fault and there's a big, big, big earthquake, California will not wash into the sea, technically. Everything on that landmass, like everything would be crushed, but not fall to the sea. If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry, but I don't think so. I like the fact that when Miss Tessmacher discovers that one is going to Hackensack, New Jersey, it's like, my mother lives in Hackensack, and he looks at the clock, like, no. No,
well,
she's
not
now.
Anymore.
Again,
and that's her entire motive too. Throughout the entire film, like, she's had issues with Lex Luthor from the beginning when he killed the cop.
Yeah,
like tossing him in front of the subway train. Why is she still here? She has issues with this man, clearly.
Easy. That's easily explained, especially in the late 70s. It's the battered wife syndrome. It's like you can find it today in today's society. Yeah. It's the woman that is so much, I would dare say, in love with a person that is terribly not good for her, but she still loves him, so she would accept a lot of horrific things. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So it's a battered wife syndrome, but she had enough because it's her mother and it's a compound issue. She actually idolizes Superman, because when they have that kryptonite discussion, she does come off before they even discuss the kryptonite. She does say, "Oh, he's such an amazing man. Look at him like this." It's like, oh, it's a hero. She idolizes him. So she does see him as a savior, and she knows exactly what will happen if she would have taken off that kryptonite. But he makes her a promise to save her mother first.
Well, yeah, because she says, "I know if you promise me, you'll do it because you don't lie."
Yeah. And that kind of harkens back to the Lois Lane report, or the interview that she did, because he tells her flat out, "I never lie. I'm here for the truth, justice, and the American way, and I never lie."
Which, if he wasn't such a God, this is why I have so many issues with this. This
why?
Is like,
oh, please tell me.
Because he could have been lying.
Lois, for real though, I'm a massive shithead. So the bomb hits.
Well, I would say Miss Tessmacher then has her little bit of inappropriate touching.
Oh, she
say.
She kisses Superman while he's in that weakened state, and he flat out asks her, "Why did you kiss me?" Because if I didn't, I wouldn't have the chance. Because
I don't think that you would have later. It's like, that's not cool.
Well, sexual harassment does go both ways. As
it does,
may well know, it does go both ways. Surprisingly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the entire Western seaboard is shook with a blast. Superman goes and rescues. It's the typical comic book Superman things that you would see in like an old version of Superman. So he saves the train. He saves let me flash it up on the screen. It's just an example, right? He saves the train from derailing. He saves the school bus from falling from the Golden Gate Bridge. Yes, I know.
No, the fault line. The fault line is the funniest thing, because obviously it's just a reverse shot. I mean, it makes sense. They had to do it practically, just with models. The same thing with the water washing over the small town. But
a question I didn't check: who did the special effects in this one? Definitely not ILM.
No, I don't know who did it actually. Okay, I do not know. But anyway, what's odd is the fact that it would not work that way. If the fault line were to break apart the way that they're trying to say it, him lifting up one piece would not pick up the entire goddamn thing.
No. It's the whole point is that he lifted a tectonic plate.
Yeah.
Right? He lifted a tectonic plate. Because that's, like we said, it's the fault line is two tectonic plates mashing into each other.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, the one thing I love from this whole kind of disaster thing is the Hoover Dam exploding.
Yeah, that was.
The thing is, when Superman kind of stops it with like the makeshift dam, that looked super cheap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, on the little model town that they built.
Yeah. This little model thing that they built for the Hoover Dam looks really good for its time. Everything is for its time, right?
Yeah.
But this looks really thought out, really good in terms of special effects for that time. But the dam itself looked really cheap. I think either there was a budget thing or something happened. Some things look cheap and some things look really good to my eye. And again, this is 78, so you got to give it a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
What exactly? Don't know. So Superman finds Lois dead. And he
has the titular no.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've had enough of this shit. I'm reversing time. And it's like, so
that's my most contentious thing about this movie.
You're disregarding your father's warning to mess in the affairs with mankind. But you're listening to Jonathan Kent, your pseudo father, your father figure for the rest of your life, saying you were meant to do something more worthwhile. That's fine. If you're gonna reverse time and you're gonna meddle with human affairs, why not go back and stop Luthor from the get-go?
Yeah, just turn it just a little bit further and get both rockets.
Well, no, stop him from doing it in the first place. You know where his lair is. You've been there. You could go there and stop him before he even knows that you exist.
Correct, I guess.
Because the cops are already, remember, they're already after Lex Luthor. If Superman were to bring in Lex Luthor, oh wow, Superman's so great, he found this master criminal.
The thing is, and this is truly the only point of contention for me this entire movie, turning the Earth back around and like turning his thing will not
reverse
time.
No.
It will literally destroy everything on the planet because the whole thing, going back to physics here. Let's just say it won't do what you think it's doing.
No.
But, you know, they had to have some sort of...
That would have been the way more just the most amazing ending. If I was like, I came back in time, he flies back down and everything is just an absolute fucking catastrophe.
It's a catastrophe. It's an absolute catastrophe.
It's like, well, shit.
Well, Superman reverses time and he manages to save... they don't really explain. I think they had a shot where...
I forgot too. Superman does the same thing that Miss Tessmacher did to Lois.
Yeah.
Kisses her corpse. That's not creepy at all. It's all get out.
Well, he's giving her a send-off. Technically, when he kissed her, it was before he broke and decided to...
I know, to turn back time. But I would... And also, by the way, whenever I see that scene, I just think of Cher.
Oh, you motherfucker. I just thought about it. If I could turn back time. And then he brings Otis and Lex Luthor to the Warden. And I love it because Lex Luthor in the comic books is bald, and if you didn't know that, well, it is what it is. And it's like,
Well, they did show
super,
his hair pieces earlier as well.
yeah, he does have a hair like a hair change and a few hair pieces lying around in the lair while the other scene is going. But if you don't notice it, kind of skims by, especially because he has that little, when they talk about the kryptonite, he has that sleek back black hairdo with a white stripe.
Mm-hmm. What I like to call the Paulie from The Sopranos.
Exactly. But the fact that they land and it's like, Superman, who is this? And he's like, takes off his wig, like, Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mind of our time. The criminal,
in so many ways,
mastermind of our time.
In so many ways, it reminded me of Wayne's World. We're like, we're gonna do the Scooby-Doo ending.
Yeah.
It was Lex Luthor this whole time.
And the fact that the warden is like, Superman, how can we? It's so much like a 40s
It's
comic
so
book.
fucking cheesy
Superman,
and campy.
How can
we ever repay you? You've done so much. Oh no, we're on the same side. We do this together. It's like,
yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure you did all this shit by yourself.
But it's such, and this is why this is very, 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 very much a comic book movie that was, if it could have been done in the early 50s, like in the golden age of Superman, if they were able to do this, they would have done it exactly that way. I mean, exactly that way.
And it would have made more sense for the time.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think it was in the early 70s that the last Adam West Batman film came out. Because I think he did 2 Batman films technically.
It's a TV Batman film, like after the Batman 66, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So they actually did one actual like feature length film for Adam West's Batman. But it didn't do well at all. But it was campy.
Yeah, it was campy, yeah.
It was actually considered passé at the time when it came out because people were getting over camp. And then this movie came out, and it's like, this movie is also super campy.
Yeah, I think so. It's like I said, if they could have done it back in the 50s like this, they would have done it. It would have the same story beats. It had the same kind of origin story. It's the same thing. That's what I love about this, because this is Superman. Even Christopher Reeve, say what you want, casting, diva, whatever method, whatever. To me, Christopher Reeve, in the look and the way he feels, always feels like Superman. The way that Henry Cavill could not capture, the way that is it not Robert Roth?
Brendan, is it Brendan?
Brendan Roth, where Brendan Roth was modeled as Christopher Reeve Superman, right? Yeah. The way that Nicolas Cage could not have been Superman.
Oh, but that movie would have been...
The way that what's the name of the Smallville actor? Smalding.
Oh, I don't know. I do not know that.
The guy who played Superman in Smallville in the CW show, he was modeled over the Christopher Reeve Superman. Rather
also, who played Superman in the Adventures of Lois and Superman? That was the early 90s. There's a live action show. Terry Hatcher played Lois Lane.
No, that's Superman and Lois. That's the TV show before Smallville. That's Dean Cain. Dean Cain was modeled over Christopher Reeve because Dean Cain is he's a short man.
Guy. Yeah.
He's a very short man. And always shot from below to above to make him look like he's much, much taller than he should have been. By the way, great show. Still holds up. It still holds up.
The 90s series?
The Adventures of Lois and Clark. That's the name of the show.
Lois and Clark. That's what it was, yeah.
Lois and Clark. The Adventures of Lois and Clark.
I remember watching it when I was
Terry
very young.
Hatcher, by the way, from all the Lois Lanes ever, Terry Hatcher was the most Lois Lane of all. She was aggressive. She was witty. She was smart. She was actually trying to be a reporter to break out a story and find out this mystery and all that. She was the most Lois Lane of all of them, in my view.
Obviously, the least was definitely Kidder, followed shortly by Amy Adams.
Amy Adams was a terrible Lois Lane.
Yeah.
She was
Amy Adams. I think Amy Adams is a good actress. I think she was just poorly cast.
By the way, if we're going to Smallville, Allison Mack, even though there was a Lois Lane in the show, Allison Mack was more Lois Lane than any version of any reporter in that particular show.
Never watched Smallville, so no frame of reference there.
My wife loves Smallville.
It.
Yeah. So I've seen the show twice over. All right, cool. That is the end of the movie. But before we do the summarization and the short version, we're going to jump into our second segment of the night, which is Screen Fighter.
Round 1, fight.
What is Screen Fighter, you say? Screen Fighters, we take 2 movies, pit them together to see which one is the best one. There's no discernible difference between the two. Both are good, both are bad. We fall on to our criteria, which is Saturday evening, Friday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. We got 2 movies. Which one will we pop in? I've already uncovered this for Mr. Feelings right there. This is our first pairing of the night. Kind of on a happenstance because this time last year we had Who Framed Roger Rabbit as our podcast movie. So Captain America, the First Avenger, or Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We have nobody watching us live, so just us.
I have to go with, obviously, even though that poster is phenomenal. That is a great
poster for it. I've never seen this poster before. This is a great poster.
I have to go with Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That movie is just such a classic. And it's a joy every single time I watch it.
I thought about it because Captain America is a really good, solid introduction to Captain America, which I like. I've heard about Captain America before. Never really got into the comic book. Not a comic book guy. Mm-hmm. This was a great introduction for me for the Marvel's version of Captain America. Solid film. I'm going to have to go with Who Framed Roger Rabbit. For what it does, it's much better than Captain America for me. Ooh, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Another movie we've covered. SWAT. Against SWAT. Easy, right?
Well, yeah, because already know what I'm going to pick.
Yeah. So, what'd you pick? SWAT?
You can't stop here. It's backcountry.
Yeah. For me, even though when we've discussed this, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas did not capture me as it did when it came out. Mm-hmm. I would still go with Fear and Loathing because SWAT is not a good movie. It's just not.
Nope.
Contact or Bad Boys. Now this is the discussion by Japanese version.
That's not. Nope.
That's Chinese version?
Yep. I think that's Mandarin. Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to have to go with Bad Boys. I thought that was a phenomenal little action film for the mid-90s. It also had Chimera for the Mitleids Juke Joint Jezebel in the dance club scene.
Always comes up when you talk about this. Always comes up.
Always will. It was actually only in one film prior KMFDM was. That was in the Mortal Kombat soundtrack.
Okay, so I've seen both films, oddly enough, by myself. Bad Boys, I was at line 4 of the movie. Guess why? By the way, my tickets were at like the 15th row. It's a big theater. Mm-hmm. It's a huge theater. When I saw this for the first time, huge theater, had like 30 rows. I was at row 4. Guess why?
No idea.
Forgot my glasses.
Oh, gotcha.
I forgot my glasses. Back then, I was literally starting to wear glasses. Sometimes I would forget. Forgot my glasses. Had to like look at that. I enjoyed it so much. I watched Contact by myself because nobody wanted to go with me. I had a buddy with.
I wonder why.
I had a buddy that we went to watch a lot of films together. I mentioned him before. He didn't want to watch this. And I had to go again to watch this with him after I watched this by myself. I would go with Bad Boys because if it's just these two in a vacuum and it's just pop in, I love these movies so much. I would have to go with
Really?
Bad Boys.
You really enjoy Contact that much?
I really enjoyed Contact. I know a lot of people don't like it. There's a story in discrepancies. There's story storylines that don't work in it, like subplots that don't really work, but I fucking love it. Serenity. Watched this movie a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. Rocky 2. Which one?
Okay, while I do believe Serenity was a perfect send-off to Firefly, which I know I'm gonna get hate for this, they don't need to bring Firefly back. Serenity was a perfect ending to it. Just let it go. Let it go. It's now been 17 years. Let it go. That being said, Rocky 2 is perhaps one of the greatest stories of friends that are forced to be antagonists.
I think you're conflating Rocky 3 and Rocky 2. Rocky 2 is where they face off again because Apollo had unfinished business. He won the fight, but he didn't defeat Rocky.
I know.
On the Rocky side, he didn't really want to take the fight. He just wanted to provide for his family.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a breaking point where Adrian kind of she has some sort of a problem with her pregnancy and she goes into a coma while he was in like going into the fight, but he didn't have it in him. And when she wakes up at a critical moment in the fight, she looks at him. He's like, what do you want me to do? I'll do anything for you. And she grabs his hand and win. And for the longest time, I was like, okay, that's a point of, okay, we'll turn up the dial. For me, I get goosebumps right now just talking about that scene.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rocky 2 all day, every day. I love Serenity. Whatever you said, completely agree. Rocky 2. We going? We'll go. Last one. Jumanji, original Jumanji with Robin Williams or The Guardian. Don't think I've seen The Guardian. Have you seen it?
Yeah. You can put it, haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I know why you don't like The Revenant.
I actually do like The Revenant.
You do? I don't like it. I don't like it. I know it's supposed to be this fucking film, blah, 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 blah. No, it did not do it for me. Please, sir. I don't like Jumanji either. By the way,
I'm just saying, but compare it to Jumanji. That's just where there's that split there. I would rather watch The Revenant as compared to the original Jumanji because, granted, it is Robin Williams hamming it up, and you know how much I love Robin Williams hamming it up. Yeah. But overall, that film is just so awful.
It is awful. By the way, if you would have put Jumanji against any other Jumanji, like this Jumanji against any of the other Jumanjis, I would watch this one 10 times over before I watch the other ones.
Really? Because the first one of the new one with Dwayne Johnson.
No.
Kevin. I actually liked that first one.
I know you do. Absolutely not for me.
That's fine. That's fair.
Terrible.
That's fair.
Awful. I'm gonna go with you. I mean, to me it's Jumanji, but for the sake of whatever, we're gonna go with the Revenant for this one.
Got eaten by a bear.
Yeah. By the way, just before we leave, quick choice: My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, My Cousin Vinny. Yeah.
Easy.
Where's the Tomei? Amazing in that film.
Joe,
did I just see 8 Mile versus Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
I turned it off. By the way,
woo, that's a good one. Save that one for next week. That's going to be a good one.
I can't.
Okay, then we're doing this.
You know what my answer is?
You're going to go with 8 Mile. I know you are.
Nope, it's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Really?
8 Mile is a terrible movie. I don't know why people like it.
Wow, I am so surprised.
Fuck that movie.
I love Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind so much.
I know.
By the way, the soundtrack of that film is so fucking good. Half the songs are done by Beck, and Beck just kills it.
8 Mile had a good soundtrack. The fucking story is so fucking. I'm just gonna stop. All right, let's talk about the Superman. Let's talk about Superman Curse.
Oh, so we're talking about another bad story?
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. Fuck yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
So
it's just you and me Superman. Here. Who gives a shit, right?
So no.
Let's go dark. Let's go deep. All right.
So
tell me about
the
Superman Curse.
Yes. So essentially, everyone who has portrayed Superman has either faced some kind of horrible catastrophe in physical harm by starting with the first actor, George, I think Harris. I can't remember his last name.
His name is Reeves.
George Reeves. But he actually was murdered.
Yes.
What happened to Christopher Reeve? Being paralyzed
to basically to the point of no return, as in a very swift and early death. I think he died at 58.
Yeah.
I can check. All right. Next.
Then Brandon Routh, who actually suffered some very, 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 very major financial setbacks until I think it was Heroes kind of brought him back into the spotlight somewhat, where he kind of regained some of his fame a little bit. But since then, he's been completely gone.
Yeah, he is off. He did a minor role in Zack and Miri Make Porn.
Make a porno? Yeah.
He plays what's the name of the guy? He was in Idiocracy. He was in Die Hard 4. The dude. I forgot his name. See, me and names. By the way, Christopher Reeve was born 52, died 2004. So he was 52 years old.
2 years old. Yeah.
Oh, he's like the nerdy guy in everything who's not named Jay Bushnell. He disappeared too.
Oh God, no, I don't.
Let me see.
Don't know the name.
Let me give you.
Need more context.
Justin Long.
Oh, Justin Long.
So
yeah.
Brandon Roth played Justin Long's boyfriend.
Oh, that's right. In Zack and Miri.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yes. And from there on, he disappeared. Again, if you can kind of say the same for Nicolas Cage, but not really, because he really didn't play Superman. And that was mid 90s.
It was late. It was supposed to be like 96, 97.
96, 97, 98.
Because once that all fell off, then
John Peters went to do Wild Wild West. Yeah.
And he finally got his giant spider.
Yeah. So not really. And Henry Cavill,
we haven't seen it yet, but so far
the jury's out on that one, because the first one he did was 2013, which is about almost 10 years.
Yeah, but all of his films were also all of the Superman films that he did were pretty critically panned. Well, the first one was okay. After like Batman vs Superman was awful. The
awful,
Justice
but
League
did
film,
almost $1 billion, and
Yeah.
Justice League did 700 million or something, 750.
Box
And-
office does not necessarily mean it's a good film either. Let's
Correct,
be fair.
but the Snyder cut brought in a shit ton of money.
Oh
A
yeah,
shit
HBO
ton of
Max.
money to Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Oh,
Which was like a 4.5 hour Justice League or something like that. It's fucking crazy.
It was stupid.
I'm
Well,
not.
then
I'm
I
not
don't know
a
what happened to
Snyderverse
the
guy.
actors. Well, I don't know. Well, Dean Cain fell out. He
Yeah.
had nothing. He had no success after that.
Yeah, Dean Cain had zero success after Lois and Clark. He did Christmas TV movies.
Like the
He did one
Hallmark
with
Lifetime-esque films.
Joey Coco Diaz, by the way. 1 or 2 movies with Joey, like a Christmas.
It's
movie with him.
always so funny to see Joey Diaz in a film where he has to just like not be,
Dude,
first of all,
remember,
stoned out of his mind.
Next month is basketball. He has a
Yeah, I
part
know.
there, remember?
I know.
Right.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it.
Right.
Well,
so
then, and also the person that was in Smallville as well. I don't know what happened to that actor.
he disappeared after Smallville.
Yeah.
Literally.
I was gonna say this again. The Curse of Superman is again what I brought up before at the beginning. Was it's also similar to the what they consider the Curse of the Confederacy of Dunces. Have you ever read the Confederacy of Dunces?
I have not. You mentioned it several times before, and I told you I don't.
Absolutely hilarious book. It is absolutely hilarious. They've been trying to make the film since I want to say the early 80s. Every single comedic actor that has been signed on to the project has died. Belushi, dead.
Okay.
Farley, dead.
Don't tell me they signed in John Candy and fucking whatever.
Candy was in the works to be in the film.
So no comedian wants to touch it now? Because of that curse? Well, fuck it then.
Well, and the author as well died before the book was ever released. And he never wanted the book to be released.
It's like Philip K. Dick not wanting to have any of his books turned into film. Yeah, because crazy bitch.
Or was oh my god, I just forgot her name. Who wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? No, not that.
That was
that's one, but the other one was the other who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird.
Female author?
Yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh,
because after she died, someone in her family discovered here comes
Harper Lee.
Harper Lee, yeah, is something about the Watchmen. That was a book that she didn't want released, but the lawyer who oversaw her estate for the family discovered that extra manuscript and then just, oh yeah, it was her dying wish to release this book.
Oh no. So he released it.
Real piece of shit.
Okay.
Real piece of shit.
Well, there's lots of stories like that, but it's so weird that Superman has this kind of. I think the only one who's skimmed by is Henry Cavill. I mean,
so far
it's been almost 10 years. It's been almost 10 years. How long did it take from Superman 4 to Christopher Reeve getting ejected from that horse?
I think
10, 12
10
years? Yeah, 10, 12 years. So we'll see. TikTok, Henry. I mean, whatever.
Now I'm just thinking of that scene with Luther and Tessmacher, which is like, my mother lives in Hackensack.
Not anymore.
No, it's just like The Witcher season 5.
No. Hopefully not. Not after that last season. Holy shit.
Oh my god, it was bad.
It was awful. I managed to walk through. By the way, I know it's doesn't concern the podcast. We might even talk about it later. Finally finished The Umbrella Academy. What a piece of shit.
I have not finished the rest of season 3 yet, which
watch it. What a piece of shit.
I got halfway through it. I'm at the very end where
they got me. They got me all the way to the end, and then
yeah.
All right. So before we end the show, summarization. We kind of discussed everything, right?
Yep.
Let's end the show with a nice piece of work, which is the short version of Superman. Tell me if it's blank to you.
Okay, here we go.
All right, let me turn this on. Bam, bam, bam. The short version of Superman, 1978.
The short version.
And I tell you that we must evacuate this planet immediately.
They're primitives, thousands of years behind us.
You will need that advantage.
Prayed and prayed the good Lord see fit to give us a child.
Who am I?
Your name is Kal-El.
Lois Lane, say hello to Clark Kent. Told you one, Pete.
I'm gonna turn over a new leaf. Right after I rip off this lady's purse.
I guess I must have fainted.
We are about to be involved in the greatest real estate swindle of all time.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me. Who's got you? Who are you?
A friend.
What the hell's going on out there?
Fly. Don't look, just fly.
I want the name of this flying whatchamacallit to go with the Daily Planet like bacon and eggs.
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way. I never lie. Peter Pan flew with children, Lois.
Superman.
I was.
See, I told you.
A meteorite found in Addis Ababa.
This substance is lethal.
We'll kill
him.
By planning the death of innocent people?
By causing the death of innocent people. Is the richest, most expensive real estate in the world. 500 megaton bomb.
Destroy most of California.
You were great in your day, Superman.
The problem with Men of Steel, there's never one around when you want one.
I think these two men should be safe here with you now so they can get a fair trial.
Who is it, Superman?
Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mind of our time.
No, sir. Don't thank me, Warden. We're all part of the same team.
That was the iconic shot. Whoop. There we go. Oh, I'm big. I'm huge. No.
What a piece of shit.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much, man. I'm probably going to get dinged on fucking copyright with the music, but I don't give a shit. John Williams. We didn't discuss John Williams.
Yeah. His
the
score is
greatest criminal mind of our time.
This. Yeah.
It's absolutely phenomenal. What a great run. What a great run. From 77, he did Star Wars, then Superman. He did Close Encounters. He did he do Jaws, right?
Yes.
He did Jaws. He did Raiders of the Lost Ark. All in a span of like 8 years, 7 years, 8 years. Iconic fucking music that John Williams. Just you can't even do a podcast with John Williams without actually having to listen to that music. Mm-hmm. But you can't on YouTube. But it is fucking amazing. I mean, you can, but you're gonna get blocked in several countries. It's not only the copyright claim, you will literally get blocked.
Yep.
And if it's a stream, you'll get taken down as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we can't do that. But it's just a phenomenal run. Just that last shot of Superman doing this and then doing a smile and into the camera and flying off into the distance, something that they kept for all of them, which they kind of replicate with Superman Returns with Brandon Roth.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't nail it. He didn't nail it. The shot was good. He didn't nail it, but you get what you give. Anyway, we continue with the Donner Month next week with a children's adventure story. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to have Ling for that one.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else drops. Ling did the I Saw the Devil, where it was a horror story. Now we're going to have some fun stuff. It's her first time watching it.
Yes.
She already did, or
she hasn't yet. She said she's going to watch
it. She hasn't yet. Oh, that's going to be fun.
And I think Trey might pop in because Trey is her fiance.
Yeah, so of course. So we're going to have her with her take on watching The Goonies for the very first time. I'm trying to get my kids to watch The Goonies. They are annoying, but they're going to watch it. God damn it. It's on Netflix with some fucking subtitles. They have
They'll love it. It's such a great film. It's such a great film.
So audience on the VOD or wherever you are in the world, watch The Goonies. Next week, we're going to discuss The Goonies. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend and have a great day.